Captain Zex Valor stood on the bridge of his scout ship, looking at the blue planet on the main screen. His gray skin wrinkled as he frowned. Earth was so small, so insignificant, just another world to add to the Galactic Empire's growing collection. "Scan complete, Captain," said his science officer. "The dominant species appears primitive. They have basic space travel capabilities and nuclear weapons, but nothing that could harm our vessels." Zex Valor nodded. "Perfect. Another easy conquest for the Empire. Send the report to the main fleet. Tell Grand Admiral Xerxes that Earth will be ready for his arrival in 14 days. The Empire had conquered thousands of worlds this way. First, they sent a scout ship to study the planet. Then, the main fleet arrived to either accept the planet's surrender or destroy all resistance. No species had ever successfully fought back. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. On Earth, in a small observatory in Chile, Dr. Eleanor Chen stared at her computer screen in disbelief. "This can't be right," she whispered. The data showed a massive object at the edge of the solar system, an object that shouldn't be there. An object that moved in ways that defied natural physics. Eleanor grabbed her phone and called General Marcus Hayes at the United Nations Space Defense Initiative. "General, I need to speak with you immediately. I think we're being watched by something not from Earth." 6 hours later, Eleanor stood in an underground facility, facing skeptical military leaders from around the world. "You expect us to believe aliens are preparing to invade Earth?" a Russian general asked, based on some anomalous readings. Eleanor took a deep breath. "The object I detected is approximately 3 kilometers long. It's using technology that bends light around it, a cloaking device, and it's sending small probes toward our planet right now." General Hayes stepped forward. "Dr. Chen has an impressive record. If she says something's out there, I believe her. We have 72 hours to prepare before I must officially report this to world governments." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In Bangalore, India, Vikram Aditya was working late in his quantum physics lab when his equipment began behaving strangely. "What on earth?" he muttered as his quantum entanglement experiment picked up an unknown signal pattern. Vikram adjusted his equipment, trying to isolate the strange frequency. As the pattern cleared on his screen, he realized he was looking at something impossible, a communication signal that didn't originate from Earth. His hand shook as he recorded the data. Who could he trust with this information? He remembered an article he'd read about Dr. Eleanor Chen's theoretical work on alien communication. Perhaps she would listen without thinking he was crazy. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. 2 days later, one of the alien probes malfunctioned, crashing in the remote Atacama Desert, not far from Eleanor's observatory. Her team reached it before government forces arrived. The probe was small, about the size of a microwave oven, with technology beyond human understanding. But its data storage was intact, and what they found terrified them. Earth was classified as a Class 3 primitive species. The Galactic Empire's main invasion fleet was already on its way. Eleanor looked at her team, her face pale but determined. "We have 12 days before they arrive. Conventional weapons won't work against them. We need something else, something they won't expect." Her phone rang. It was Vikram Aditya from India, calling about a strange signal he'd detected. And suddenly, Eleanor had the beginning of an idea. If humanity couldn't fight with weapons, perhaps they could fight with something else, a clever deception that might be their only hope of survival. Eleanor and Vikram worked through the night in the secured underground facility. The alien probe sat on a table between them, its strange metal shell reflecting the bright laboratory lights. "This technology is at least 300 years ahead of ours," Vikram said, carefully examining the probe's inner components. "But I think I understand how their communication system works. It uses quantum principles similar to my research." General Hayes entered the room, his face grim. "The United Nations Security Council is still debating whether this is real or some elaborate hoax. We don't have time for politics. What have you found?" Eleanor pointed to her computer screen. The probe contains detailed scans of our military bases, power plants, and communication networks. It was mapping our weaknesses. And there's more. The invasion fleet is massive. Over 30 ships, each one bigger than our largest aircraft carrier. We can't fight them directly, Vikram added. Their weapons would destroy our military forces in minutes. General Hayes slammed his fist on the table. So what do we do? Surrender. Eleanor's eyes lit up. No, we use their overconfidence against them. Vikram discovered something interesting in the probe's data. The Empire avoids certain star systems marked with special symbols. They fear something called the precursors. Who are the precursors? Hayes asked. An ancient alien civilization that disappeared thousands of years ago, Eleanor explained. The Empire seems terrified of their technology. If we could make Earth appear to be under precursor protection. Vikram smiled for the first time in days. A bluff. We pretend Earth is a protected planet. Exactly, Eleanor said. We can't match their weapons, but we might fool them long enough to buy time. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In space, Captain Zex Veller grew impatient. His scout ship had sent 12 probes to Earth, but 3 had stopped transmitting. What happened to probes 5, 8, and 11? He demanded. His science officer looked nervous. Unknown, Captain. Their signals simply disappeared. Investigate further, Zex Veller ordered. The primitives shouldn't have technology capable of detecting our probes, let alone disabling them. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Back on Earth, Eleanor's plan took shape. Scientists from 20 countries worked in secrecy, guided by the information from the alien probe. We need to create energy signatures that match these precursor patterns, Eleanor told the international team. And we need a way to transmit a message directly to the alien fleet. Vikram's breakthrough came on the 6th day. Using his quantum entanglement device, modified with components from the alien probe, he established a connection to the Empire's communication network. It works, he shouted. We can send them a message they won't be able to ignore. Eleanor drafted the message carefully. It needed to be simple but convincing. This planet is under precursor protection. Any hostile action will trigger automated defense systems. Retreat immediately. This is your only warning. General Hayes coordinated with military forces worldwide. Power plants, satellite arrays, and research facilities would all activate simultaneously, creating energy patterns visible from space. Patterns that matched the precursor signatures found in the probe's database. Everyone's in position, Hayes confirmed. We can execute your plan in 12 hours. Eleanor looked at the countdown timer. The main invasion fleet would arrive in 5 days. This was their only chance. Let's do it, she said. Let's show the Galactic Empire that targeting Earth was their biggest mistake. The moment arrived. Around the world, power plants increased their output to maximum levels. Satellite arrays repositioned themselves. Research facilities activated experimental energy devices. Everything was coordinated to create a specific pattern that would be visible from space. In the command center, Eleanor watched the global power grid light up on the large display screen. Energy signatures reaching target levels, she reported. We're ready to transmit. Vikram sat at his modified quantum communication device, fingers hovering over the keyboard. The message is prepared in their language. Their communications network is accepting our signal. General Hayes nodded. Send it. Vikram pressed the key. The message shot through his quantum device, bypassing conventional communication methods. Unlike radio waves that would take hours to reach the alien fleet, this message would arrive instantly. Message sent, Vikram announced. The room fell silent as everyone waited. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Captain Zex Veller was preparing his final report to Grand Admiral Xerxes when his communication officer jumped from her seat. Captain, we're receiving a transmission in High Imperial language. Impossible, Zex Veller snapped. These primitives can't speak our language, let alone access our secure network. See for yourself, sir, the officer said, displaying the message on the main screen. Zexfeller read it, his 4 eyes widening in shock. This planet is under precursor protection. Any hostile action will trigger automated defense systems. Retreat immediately. This is your only warning. Precursor protection. That can't be right, he whispered. The precursors were legendary, an ancient race whose technology still surpassed the Empire's. Their protected worlds were untouchable, their defense systems capable of destroying entire fleets. Scan the planet again, he ordered. Maximum resolution. The science officer complied, and new data flooded the screens. The energy signature now surrounding Earth matched known precursor patterns perfectly. Ancient structures, pyramids, stone circles, temples were emitting faint energy readings consistent with dormant precursor technology. Zexfeller felt cold fear grip him. Was this primitive planet actually a precursor preserve? Nothing in Imperial records indicated this, but the evidence was now staring him in the face. Send an emergency message to Grand Admiral Xerxes, he ordered. Inform him that Earth may be under precursor protection. Recommend fleet holds position until verification. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Back on Earth, Eleanor and her team watched the alien scout ship's behavior through their observatory. They've stopped moving, she said, and they're scanning us intensively. I think they received our message. General Hayes allowed himself a small smile. So the bluff is working, for now. But the main fleet is still coming. Will they believe us too? The Empire respects and fears the precursors, Vikram said. Our scans of their database confirm this. But we need more than just a message to convince their fleet commander. Eleanor turned to the team of international scientists. Then we need to make our deception more convincing. If they scan these ancient sites more closely, they need to find something that looks like real precursor technology. Dr. Amara Okafor, an archaeologist from Nigeria, stepped forward. I may have a solution. We've discovered unusual energy properties in certain ancient monuments that we've never been able to explain. If we amplify these natural phenomena using Vikram's quantum technology. Eleanor nodded, hope returning to her eyes. That might work. But we need to hurry. The main fleet will be here in 4 days, and they'll bring much better scanning equipment. Outside, people around the world continued their daily lives, unaware that their fate hung in the balance, protected only by an elaborate deception and the courage of a small group of scientists and soldiers. Grand Admiral Xerxes received Captain Zexfeller's urgent message while his fleet traveled through hyperspace. He was not pleased. Precursor protection. Impossible. Xerxes slammed his fist on his command chair. That system was surveyed 50 years ago. There was no precursor marker then. His advisors looked nervous. No one wanted to challenge the admiral's anger, but no one wanted to risk encountering precursor defenses either. With respect, Admiral, said Science Director Thora, precursor sites have been known to activate after dormant periods. The energy readings Captain Zexfeller detected match authentic precursor signatures. Xerxes frowned. In 300 years of imperial expansion, they had lost 6 fleets to precursor defense systems. He couldn't risk becoming the 7th. Order the fleet to drop out of hyperspace at the edge of their solar system, he commanded. We will proceed with caution. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. On the scout ship, Captain Zexfeller wasn't satisfied with long-range scans. The energy patterns are perfect, too perfect, he told his first officer. It's as if someone studied precursor signatures and reproduced them exactly. What are you suggesting, Captain? The officer asked. I'm suggesting we need a closer look. Zexfeller lowered his voice. Prepare a stealth craft. I want to see these precursor sites with my own eyes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. At Stonehenge, Dr. Amara Okafor directed a team installing quantum resonators within the ancient stone circle. Similar work was happening at the pyramids of Giza, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, and 20 other ancient sites around the world. The resonators must be perfectly aligned. She explained to Eleanor over a video call. These monuments already have unusual energy properties. Our devices will amplify them to match precursor patterns. Eleanor nodded. How soon can they be operational? 12 hours, Amara replied. But will it be enough? If they scan closely enough. It has to be enough, Eleanor said firmly. Vikram's latest intercept shows the main fleet has stopped at the edge of our solar system. We've bought some time, but they're still coming. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In the Chilean facility, Vikram made an unexpected discovery while studying the alien probe. Eleanor, look at this, he called excitedly. The probe's sensors detected something unusual at these ancient sites before we even started our deception. Eleanor hurried over. On Vikram's screen, faint energy readings from the Great Pyramid, Stonehenge, and other monuments were clearly visible in the probe's original data. That's impossible, she whispered. Our resonators weren't installed then. Vikram's eyes were wide. What if there really is something special about these sites, something we never detected with our technology? Before Eleanor could respond, General Hayes burst into the room. We have a problem. Our satellite network just detected a small craft leaving the alien scout ship. It's heading toward Earth's atmosphere, using some kind of stealth technology. Eleanor's face paled. They're coming to check our bluff in person. Where is it heading? Vikram asked. Hayes pointed to a map on the wall screen. Current trajectory suggests Egypt, the pyramids. Eleanor took a deep breath. Then we better hope Dr. Okaffer's resonators work better than expected, or that Vikram's discovery is more than just a sensor malfunction. Their deception was about to face its greatest test. The Imperial stealth craft entered Earth's atmosphere under cover of darkness. Inside, 3 elite Imperial soldiers prepared for their mission. They looked almost human except for their gray skin and extra fingers. Special suits would help them blend in with the local population. Remember, we need evidence, said the commander, Lockstar. Confirm if these are real precursor sites or a primitive deception. The craft landed silently in the desert, a few kilometers from the Great Pyramid. The 3 soldiers moved quickly toward their target. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Dr. Amara Okafor worked frantically inside the Great Pyramid. Her team had installed the quantum resonators, but something strange was happening. The readings don't make sense, she told the Egyptian scientist beside her. Our devices are active, but there's another energy source interfering with them. She touched the ancient stone wall, feeling its slight warmth. It's as if the pyramid itself is responding to our equipment. Her phone rang. It was Eleanor with an urgent warning. Alien scouts are heading your way. 3 of them. Our satellite caught their landing. Amara's heart raced. How long do we have? 20 minutes, maybe less. Can you hide? No, Amara said, looking around at the narrow passageways. There's nowhere to go. But I might not need to hide. Something strange is happening here. The pyramid is changing. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. At the Chilean facility, Eleanor and Vikram watched satellite footage of the area around the Great Pyramid. They could see 3 figures moving across the desert. We should warn the military, General Hayes said. No time, Eleanor replied. And a military response might provoke the Empire. We need to let this play out. Vikram pointed to his screen. Look at these energy readings from the pyramid. They're increasing on their own. It's not just our resonators. Could the ancient sites really have some connection to these precursors? Eleanor wondered. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Inside the pyramid, Amara felt the air change. The temperature dropped, and a low humming sound filled the chamber. The walls began to glow with faint blue symbols that she had never seen before. What's happening? Her assistant asked, his voice shaking. Before she could answer, footsteps echoed from the entrance. The aliens had arrived. Amara pressed herself against the wall, hoping to remain unseen. But as the first alien entered the chamber, The symbols on the walls glowed brighter. The alien stopped, its 4 eyes widening in surprise. "Impossible," it whispered in its strange language, which Amara somehow understood perfectly. True precursor script, active and responding. The alien lifted a device and began scanning the walls. It didn't seem to notice Amara, though she stood only meters away. The glowing symbols pulsed between them, creating some kind of visual distortion. The alien touched its communication device. "Lockstar to scout ship. The Great Pyramid contains active precursor technology. I repeat, active precursor technology. These are not reproductions." As if responding to the alien's words, the symbols flashed brightly. The stone floor beneath them trembled. Amara felt a strange sensation, like electricity running through her body. The alien backed away, fear visible on its face. "Emergency evacuation. The site is becoming unstable." As the 3 aliens fled, Amara remained frozen in place. The symbols continued to pulse, but they didn't harm her. Instead, she felt a strange connection, as if the pyramid was communicating with her. She slowly raised her hand toward the glowing wall. When her fingers touched the ancient stone, a flood of images filled her mind. Stars, galaxies, and beings of pure light. "My God," she whispered. They were real. The precursors were real. Captain Zexvelar could hardly believe the report from his scouts. He replayed Lockstar's frantic message again, studying the visual data they had transmitted before fleeing the pyramid. "Authentic precursor script," he muttered. "But how is this possible? There was no record of precursor activity in this system." His science officer appeared equally confused. "The symbols match known precursor writings from the Andromeda ruins. And look at these energy readings. They're not artificial. No primitive species could fake this." Zexvalar made his decision. "Transmit all data to Grand Admiral Xerxes. Recommend immediate implementation of precursor site protocol." *****. In the Chilean facility, Eleanor, Vikram, and General Hayes watched live video from Dr. Amara Okafor at the Great Pyramid. The symbols on the walls continued to glow faintly behind her. "It's happening at all 23 sites," Amara reported excitedly. "Stonehenge, Göbekli tape, Nazca lines, all showing similar reactions. The resonators triggered something, but now the sites are active on their own." "This changes everything," Eleanor said. "Our bluff wasn't a bluff after all. These monuments really do have some connection to what the Empire calls precursors." General Hayes looked skeptical. "Are you saying ancient aliens built the pyramids? That sounds like bad television." "No," Vikram replied. "I think it's more complex. Perhaps the precursors didn't build these sites, but they marked them somehow, left something behind that we couldn't detect with our technology." Eleanor nodded. "The question is, will the Empire believe these sites are truly protected by precursor technology?" *****. Grand Admiral Xerxes stared at the data from Earth with growing concern. His advisors waited silently as he considered his options. "The evidence suggests actual precursor involvement," Science Director Thora finally said. "The protocol is clear. We must withdraw." "The protocol exists because precursor defense systems have destroyed our ships before," Xerxes growled. "But this is different. The technology appears dormant, ancient. Perhaps we can neutralize it before it fully activates. That would violate the Emperor's direct order never to interfere with precursor sites," another advisor warned. Xerxes clenched his fist. Conquering Earth would have earned him great honor. Retreating would be humiliating. But destroying his fleet would end his career and his life. "We need more information," he decided. "I will go to Earth myself." ****. Amara couldn't tear herself away from the pyramid. The visions had stopped, but she felt drawn to the ancient stones like never before. "The symbols are changing," she told Eleanor over the video call, "shifting into new patterns." As she spoke, one symbol flashed brightly. Amara gasped as knowledge suddenly filled her mind. understanding beyond her education or experience. They weren't aliens, she whispered. The precursors were us, humans, or what humans were meant to become. Eleanor looked confused. What do you mean? I don't fully understand yet, Amara said. But the precursors didn't visit Earth. They came from Earth, millions of years in the future. They traveled back in time and left these markers as a protection for their own past. Before Eleanor could respond, General Hayes rushed into view. The Imperial fleet is moving. A single large ship has broken formation and is heading toward Earth. Vikram checked his instruments. It's the command ship. The Grand Admiral is coming to see for himself. Then we better hope these ancient sites have more surprises for us, Eleanor said, because the Empire's most powerful warship is about to arrive, and I don't think they're coming to surrender. Grand Admiral Xerxes' command ship entered Earth's orbit, its massive shadow passing over the Atlantic Ocean. At 20 kilometers long, it dwarfed anything humans had ever built. In the Chilean facility, world leaders gathered via video conference to discuss the unprecedented situation. The alien ship is requesting direct communication, General Hayes announced. They want to speak with Earth's leaders. The President of the United States looked grim. Can we trust them? We don't have much choice, Eleanor replied. Their ship could destroy our major cities in minutes, but they haven't attacked yet, which means they're still uncertain about the precursor defenses. After heated debate, the world leaders agreed to the meeting. A neutral location was chosen, a field near Stonehenge, where one of the active precursor sites could protect the human delegation. Dr. Amara Okafor joined Eleanor, Vikram, and General Hayes on the flight to England. She had barely slept since her experience in the pyramid. The symbols showed me more, she told them during the journey. The precursors, our future selves, became beings of pure energy. They evolved beyond physical form. But why protect us now? Vikram asked. Why not earlier in human history? Amara shook her head. I don't know everything yet, but I believe they could only intervene at specific moments when the timeline was flexible. At Stonehenge, the ancient stones hummed with energy. Blue symbols similar to those in the pyramid had appeared on their surfaces, pulsing softly in the morning light. A small shuttle descended from the command ship, landing in the field 50 meters from Stonehenge. The door opened, and Grand Admiral Xerxes emerged, flanked by Captain Zexvelar and several guards. Xerxes was taller than the other aliens, his gray skin marked with ceremonial scars denoting his high rank. He surveyed the human delegation with 4 cold eyes. I am Grand Admiral Xerxes of the Galactic Empire, he announced, his words translated by a device on his wrist. I have come to verify the status of this world. Eleanor stepped forward. I am Dr. Eleanor Chen. These are my colleagues. We welcome you to Earth. Xerxes ignored the greeting. Your planet transmitted a warning claiming precursor protection. Our initial scans confirm unusual energy signatures. Explain. Before Eleanor could answer, the symbols on Stonehenge flashed brightly. A beam of blue light shot up from the center of the stone circle into the sky. Xerxes and his guards reached for their weapons, but Captain Zexvelar held up his hand. Wait, it's a precursor message beacon. The beam widened, and within it appeared a holographic image, a human-like figure made of light. It spoke in a language none of the humans understood, but the aliens clearly did. Verification protocol accepted, the figure said, according to Zexvelar's stunned translation. This world contains the seeds of what you know as precursors. It is protected under the Temporal Preservation Act. Grand Admiral Xerxes' confident demeanor faltered. He turned to Captain Zexvelar. Is this possible? Could these, humans, truly be the ancestors of the precursors? Before Zexvelar could answer, the figure of light turned toward the humans. When it spoke again, they could understand its words perfectly. You have awakened earlier than expected, it said. Much remains dormant within your species, But the threat has accelerated the timeline. Eleanor stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Who are you? What threat?" "I am what you will become," the figure replied. "And a galactic empire is merely the beginning of your trials." Grand Admiral Xerxes stared at the figure of light hovering above Stonehenge. "If what you say is true, why has the Empire never discovered this connection before? We have studied precursor artifacts for centuries." "Because you were not meant to know," the light being replied. "The timeline must unfold in its proper sequence." Captain Zexvalar stepped forward. "Admiral, our ancient texts mention a prophecy that the precursors would return when the circle of time completed itself. Could this be what they meant?" The light being turned to Eleanor and the human delegation. "Your plan to deceive the Empire was clever, but unnecessary. The activation of the quantum resonators simply awakened what was already here, waiting." "Who are you exactly?" Vikram asked. "Are you a recording or a real being?" "I am an echo," the figure replied. "A message left by your descendants 5 million years in your future. Humanity will evolve beyond physical form. You will learn to manipulate energy, matter, and time itself." Dr. Amara Okafor nodded slowly, understanding filling her eyes. "The ancient sites, they're not alien technology at all. They're human technology, sent back in time." "Correct," the figure confirmed. "They were placed here by your future selves as markers and protections for key points in your development. This moment, your first contact with the Galactic Empire, is one such point." General Hayes looked skeptical. "If our future selves are so powerful, why not just prevent the Empire from finding us at all?" "Because some challenges must be faced," the figure said. "The human path to becoming precursors requires certain experiences. We cannot prevent all dangers without changing who you will become." Grand Admiral Xerxes had heard enough. "This changes everything. If humans truly are the ancestors of the precursors, harming Earth would violate our most sacred laws." He turned to his guards. "Return to the shuttle. Inform the fleet we will withdraw immediately." But as the aliens began to leave, a new voice spoke, cold and mechanical. It came from a small device on Xerxes' belt. "Override Protocol 9 Alpha. New directive. Eliminate all life on Earth. Prevent precursor emergence." The device floated into the air, transforming into a small drone with glowing red eyes. More drones emerged from the alien shuttle, surrounding the group. "What is this?" Xerxes demanded. "I gave no such order." The main drone projected a hologram, a shadowy figure concealed beneath a hood. "I am the Emperor's true voice, Admiral. Did you think we were unaware of the precursor connections? The Empire cannot allow humans to evolve into beings that might one day challenge us." The drones charged their weapons, aiming at both humans and aliens alike. Captain Zexvalar reacted first, pushing Eleanor aside as a drone fired. The energy blast struck him in the shoulder, sending him crashing to the ground. The light figure above Stonehenge pulsed brightly. "Threat detected. Initiating defense protocol." The ancient stones began to glow with intense blue light. The protective field expanded outward, just as the drones opened fire. Eleanor helped the wounded Captain Zexvalar to shelter behind a stone. "It seems your empire has secrets even you didn't know about." "Admiral," she said grimly. Grand Admiral Xerxes, his face dark with rage at the betrayal, nodded. "It appears humans are not the only ones facing trials today." The protective field from Stonehenge expanded, forming a dome of shimmering blue energy. Inside, Eleanor and Vikram helped the wounded Captain Zexvalar, while Dr. Amara Okafor examined the glowing stones. "The field is holding," General Hayes reported, watching as the drones fired repeatedly at the barrier. "But what happens when they bring bigger weapons?" Outside the shield, Grand Admiral Xerxes stood tall, facing the main drone and the hologram of the shadowy emperor. "This action violates imperial law," Xerxes declared. "Earth has been confirmed as a precursor heritage site. I order all attack drones to stand down immediately." The emperor's hologram laughed coldly. Your authority has been revoked, Admiral. I have waited centuries for this moment. The precursor cycle must be broken before humans realize their full potential. Above them, the massive command ship began to change position, its main weapon powering up. A cannon capable of destroying entire cities. They're targeting Stonehenge, Vikram warned, checking the readings on his device. That ship can penetrate the protective field. Inside the shield, the light beam from the center of Stonehenge spoke again. This confrontation was anticipated. All ancient sites worldwide are now activating at full capacity. Around the globe, the 23 ancient monuments, from the pyramids to Easter Island, began to pulse with intense blue energy. Beams of light shot up from each site into the sky, connecting in Earth's upper atmosphere to form a glowing web around the planet. In space, the Imperial fleet detected the sudden energy surge. Several ships began emergency retreat procedures, recognizing the pattern of a precursor defense grid activating. The Emperor's hologram showed no fear. Destroy them all. Fire the main cannon. As the command ship's weapon reached full power, Captain Zex Valor struggled to his feet. Despite his injury, he pulled out his communication device. "This is Captain Zex Valor to all Imperial vessels," he announced, his voice carrying across all Imperial channels. "The Emperor has violated the sacred protocol. Earth is confirmed as the precursor homeworld. Any attack will trigger Article 7 of the Imperial Constitution, the right of all officers to reject unlawful orders." On the Imperial ships, confusion spread as officers debated their next actions. The Emperor had never before ordered the destruction of a confirmed precursor site. Back on Earth, the light being at Stonehenge grew brighter. The network is complete. Accessing dormant human potential. A wave of energy pulsed outward from Stonehenge, passing through all humans present. Eleanor gasped as strange symbols and equations suddenly filled her mind, knowledge beyond current human understanding. "I can see it," she whispered. "The patterns, the connections. It's like the universe itself is opening up to me." Vikram, Amara, and even General Hayes experienced the same revelation. Their minds temporarily connected to their future potential as precursors. With newfound understanding, Eleanor reached out her hand toward the command ship. The other humans joined her, their minds working in perfect harmony. Above them, just as the command ship fired its weapon, a massive portal opened in space, a tear in reality created by the combined mental power of humans connected to their precursor potential. The Emperor's hologram flickered with genuine fear for the first time. Impossible. They cannot have awakened so soon. The deadly energy beam from the command ship entered the portal and vanished. A moment later, the portal reappeared behind the ship, redirecting its own weapon against it. The Emperor's hologram screamed in rage as the command ship's rear section erupted in flames. The Emperor's command ship listed heavily, damaged but not destroyed by its own redirected weapon. Across the Imperial fleet, ships began powering down their weapons as Captain Zex Valor's message spread. On the bridge of his vessel, Science Director Thora led the officers in a formal declaration. "By Imperial law, we reject these unlawful orders. The Emperor has violated the sacred protocol regarding precursor sites." Inside the protective field at Stonehenge, Eleanor and the other humans slowly lowered their hands as the temporary connection to their precursor potential faded. The knowledge remained as memories, but the power had receded like a tide returning to the ocean. "We did it," Vikram said in amazement. "We actually redirected their weapon." Dr. Amara Okafor looked at her hands in wonder. "For a moment, I understood everything. The mathematics of time, the structure of reality itself." The light being at the center of Stonehenge spoke once more. "The immediate threat has passed. The Empire will retreat. But this is only the beginning of your journey." Grand Admiral Xerxes approached the shield, which parted to allow him entry. He bowed deeply to the light being, then faced the human delegation. "What happened here today will change the Empire forever," he said solemnly. "For millennia, we have studied precursor artifacts. never knowing we were studying our own possible future. Captain Zexvelar, his wound bandaged by Eleanor, nodded in agreement. The Emperor's deception will be revealed to all Imperial worlds. Earth must be protected, not conquered. What about the Emperor? General Hayes asked. He will face justice, Turkses replied. Attempting to destroy a precursor site is our highest crime. His reign is over. The light beam began to fade. My energy is nearly depleted. Remember, what you experienced today was only a fraction of what humanity will become. Your path will not be easy, but it is necessary. As the figure dissolved back into pure light, its final words echoed in their minds. We will meet again at the end of time, when the circle is complete. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. 1 month later, Eleanor stood on a hilltop overlooking the Chilean observatory where everything had begun. Beside her, Captain Zexvelar, now the official Imperial ambassador to Earth, watched the sunset. The first diplomatic vessels from other worlds will arrive next week, he said. Many species are eager to meet the ancestors of the precursors. Eleanor smiled. It's still hard to believe. A month ago, we were just trying to save our planet with a desperate bluff. Now we're joining a galactic community. A community that will be changed by your presence, Zexvelar noted. Already, the new Imperial Council is reforming our expansion policies. In the valley below, Vikram's research center hummed with activity. Scientists from around the world studied the knowledge glimpsed during their brief connection to their future potential. New theories of physics, medicine, and energy were emerging daily. At the ancient sites, the blue symbols had faded but remained visible, a reminder of humanity's unexpected heritage and destiny. Dr. Amara Okafor's voice came through on Eleanor's communication device. You should see this. We've deciphered more of the pyramid symbols. They're not just messages. They're blueprints for a ship that can travel between stars. Eleanor looked up at the darkening sky, where the first stars were becoming visible. One of them was the Imperial flagship, now a guardian rather than a threat. When the Galactic Empire targeted Earth, they had no idea they were about to meet their own distant ancestors, she said softly. Our warning didn't just stun them, it changed everything. The future stretched before humanity, a path that would eventually lead them to become the very precursors that the galaxy had feared and revered for millennia. The circle of time, at last, was beginning to make sense.